Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful rainy-ish looking day outside this morning. The grey is very, constant and looks like dark enough to be rain. It's been lovely yesterday with the rain that we have had, and it's wonderful to be able to anticipate a bit more. It's still wet looking outside, so we've had it going for most of the night, so it's absolutely superb. We needed it. I'm Boundy, psychic medium, bringing you mini weather report, but no, I'm a psychic medium and I do enjoy using the cards as my tools. One of the tools that I use to tap into the connection with spirit and the spirit world. So we're here as per usual on today's a Saturday, so it's the 29th of November, and I'm actually on time for what I've normally been doing over the last few years, probably 8 o'clock on a every morning, mostly 8 a.m. Oh, so I'm going to go across to the cards, but you'll notice I haven't done anything with them yet. So let's go across to the deck. And here's the one that I'd like to use for today and tomorrow, being a weekend, because I don't normally, I haven't normally used the Gilded Reveries, the weekday one that I've been using for, like I mentioned, the 8 years. But I've come into doing the alternatives. I've got quite a few different decks in the drawer, and even though I don't use them constantly or often, I like to swing through several different ones occasionally. Now, it's been a while again since I've used the Siren Song, and this is Divining the Depths with Lenormand and Kipper cards. I've been wanting to use the Kipper decks a little more frequently. I do have the Ciro Marchetti's Kipper deck, which you may remember over times past, the few times that I've used those. This one is a deck that is by, and it's how it's presented in this type of a box. Very hard to read. Just get the pointer out. It's very hard to read what is inside this particular cover. May the sirens' song guide you away from rocky shores and lure you into the dazzling depths of your own truth and mystery. A beautiful little verse there. So it does come with a more reasonably sized guidebook, as you can tell, and I will be referring to this one. And what it has inside is the two different decks. So there's the Lenormand and there's the Kipper deck. Now, I'm not sure which one you would like to use, so what I'm going to do is go to the left and use the Lenormand today, and then I'll use the Kipper tomorrow. Okay, so there we are. That's what I'm doing with this deck. Now, because I haven't as yet shuffled them, you see how nicely they fit into the hand. So I'll give them a quick shuffle like that. And knock them. That was the clear. Now we've got the choosing for today is the intention. So these are the cards we're going to have for today. And I place 3 in the row. Whoops, and I should take note. Have them up the right way. And we'll go from there. Okie doke. So there's our 3 cards for the day today. Because, gee, they look a long way away, don't they? I'm going to grab the guidebook and I'll zoom into these. And what we have is the bouquet, which is card number 9. That is our theme for the day. We've got the letter, card number 27. That is our home space energy. And you've got the corresponding normal playing deck. You know, if you don't have a a dedicated deck for Lenormand, you can use these out of the playing deck. And the fish, card 34, is in the workspace. So the corresponding cards is, I think that's the Queen. You know, it's hard to read. It's the Queen of Spades. I think that's a Q there, looking at it more closely. Queen of Spades, the Seven of Spades, and the King of Diamonds. Okay, that's the relative ones that's the related ones in the regular playing deck. Okay, so bouquet 9, theme, letter 27, home, fish 34, work. Okay, let's go for it. Now, Michaela, how lovely to see you this morning. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And first time for a while. It is, but you have been recovering, so that's fine. You need to take your time for the rest and recuperation. So it's lovely to see you back. And Deb, good morning, Rosanall. What a beautiful way to start the reading. Lovely looking cards indeed. Oh, they are. They're gorgeous. I love the artwork and just the mystical aspect of it being more nautical. And Michaela, yes, beautiful little cards. They are. The nautical feel, because the sirens are effectively, they're sort of similar to what you'd call the mermaids as another word for them. And they weren't always by sailors' law, they're not the best thing that you should be seeing, because they'd be, I'm just trying to think of the words for it. They can be tricksters. Yes, anyway, deceptive, all sorts of things. And yes, it was a big surgery, absolutely. And I hope you are getting a lot better from it as well. The rest is really the part that you need to take for yourself. And thank you for my blessings. Yes, very blessed. Very blessed we have the skills in the surgeons and all that as well these days. I've had many an occasion to be very thankful for their skills. Now, sorry, I've got the iPad next to me and I forgot to do all that stuff that you're meant to do. I'm putting it on airplane mode. Whether that stops notifications or not, don't know. Anyway, and Deb's saying, how interesting. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, the sirens, I think that's why they had the maidenheads on the bow of the waves, was to scare them away. It's a long time ago that I read a lot of those stories about the myths of the sea. They're very interesting, and absolutely me too, yes. Slowly but steadily, exactly. Slowly but steadily, absolutely. Okay, now with the theme of our day being the bouquet, that really is a beautiful blessing in itself. It's the thank you, it's the recognition, it's the being able to bring into the the more conscious mind of how we can say thank yous to each other as well by that beautiful bouquet, or just really being able to celebrate that is our the blessings of Mother Nature. In our home, we create the bouquets in a vase, the floral arrangements and the rest. But it comes after a lot of hard work from Mother Nature, yes, but many people in the line and the process of bringing those beautiful flowers to our tables, to our ability to buy them from the flower shops and everything. It really is a skill to keep all of those plants alive, tended and nurtured with love and care. Don't ask me to look after your flowers in a garden because I'm not that talented person. I really thank those who are and are able to really produce gorgeous blooms in their gardens, to stay in their gardens as a beautiful display, or as we sometimes enjoy them as bouquets. Now, I am going to read from the book. There we go. I've got the page open. I will read the explanation that they have here. Now, the creators of this, I didn't mention that before, but it's Carrie Paris, Tony Savory, and Tina Hart created these decks and the interpretations that are within the book. I probably would have read this intro and forward and all that sort of stuff to get a bit more of a gist of what their intention was with these decks, but I can't remember it, so it doesn't matter. We're here for the reading that and the meaning that it is for us in our day-to-day. And the bouquet, with the keywords of happiness, wish fulfillment and attainment, is beautiful keywords. So when the bouquet falls close to the siren, and they all will refer to a grunter blow. Any of these guidebooks that I've ever seen, when they've written the explanations up, has always been in the context of a grunter blow, of the cards spread, all the cards on the table, and you read them from that layout. We don't have time to do that every day. As much as it would be wonderful, I'm just reading the context of where this is in relation to our theme for the day. Right, so when it falls, wishes will be granted and hope and happiness reign. So the bouquet promises moments of intense beauty and brilliance that will leave you feeling like sweet dreams do come true. So the bouquet could be a surprise gift, a proposal or offer, or the promise of something experienced as great joy. And it's one of those things that I'll always remember. My mum really loved those beautiful floral arrangements that these talented people would create, that we as a family knew she loved the flowers, and that would be the main gift for her birthdays or Christmas or, celebrations. It was, the bouquet of flowers and the joy on her face as she received them. It really is that epitome of a thank you for being you, you are treasured, and it's a beautiful expression of that acknowledgement of people to each other, using a bouquet as that symbolism, and just the joy of seeing them. So, seeing them arranged and sitting on your bench, your table, coffee table, wherever you actually put them, they're in view to appreciate for as long as they actually last in that beautiful form in a vase. And even the cycles of how, in a full plant, of course, the bushes and everything, they have their cycles. And it's wonderful to anticipate that is the next flush of the blooms and everything, and tending and nurturing them. And that's something I've got to remember too. Water, feed them, and etc. Deadhead the roses, which I'm looking out there and thinking, I've only got 3 miniature roses. I need to go and deadhead them. Yep. So it is a joyful thing to be able to share that beauty of a bouquet. And it does give us that promise, as this is telling us. Okay, as the guidebook is suggesting. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, card 27, and a good morning to S. Light. Hi, beautiful deck. It is, isn't it? I'll just show you the cover of the deck so that you can have a quick look. It's called The Siren's Song. So that's the cover. And it is a Kipper and Lenormand deck. I'm reading the Lenormand. And you're asking, may I have a reading? This is the reading. Whatever question that you have in your mind uppermost at the moment, this is a reading for today, and you take these cards and interpret them as your reading for the day today. Okay, so that's how I do these readings every morning, as much as I can manage to do them in the mornings. Sometimes it hasn't always happened, so it's not been every day for 8 years, but it's been close to it. Okay, now the letter card. You look at these wonderful, the detail in the artwork I think is just magnificent. And here we have the nautical theme still flowing through, with this gorgeous octopus with all of its tentacles floating over here. And what's in the background? It looks like it's a jellyfish or something as well. It's still flowing through with that layering of what the ocean itself can bring. So this letter of keywords being communication, email, written or spoken word, okay? At its core, letter is about communication, and it's absolutely fundamentally positive. We no longer live in a quillionic world, so the meaning of letters understandably adapted to digital options, emails, text, tweets and DMs. While this card generally strives to deliver favourable content if the cloud's nearby, which it isn't, and it's not a grunter blow, it passes through a filter of confusion and misunderstanding. So that's not here. We don't have any negative cards here. They're all positive. So expect written or spoken communication to take a turn. for the worst if cloud was there, but it's not. So we can expect wonderful communication. So do anticipate that we're going to get something that is, well, more frequently, like I don't see the spoken word as being part of letter, but look, it could be. With the way that we do our texting these days as well, I mean, I even resorted to hitting the microphone and doing voice to text translation yesterday because my fingers were getting a bit peeved off at having to type on an iPad. It's a little bit awkward, so I decided, well, what's this microphone? Can I actually speak it to the person and it records it as a voice? Or it actually did the voice to text very well as well. So, this being in the home space, I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to find little notes around the place in your home space, or you're needing to really be like communicating through the day. Make sure it's by word so that voice sometimes gets forgotten. I like most of whatever I do to be in writing because then I can look it up or at least find it scratched on the envelope or the scrap of paper. I can at least go looking for that because, I know I wrote it down somewhere. I can refer back to it and it reviews my memory. If I just relied on hearing something and then I'll write it down later, it doesn't happen. Not very often. So expect that through your day to day. Yeah, and it just feels like sometimes those little quirky notes that really are that love shining through because in appreciation, that the bouquet, it's given with love or recognition most of the time. Just depends the situation, but we're going to feel that emotion, that energy through our day to day. That's just what I'm getting from it. Okay. And Sharon, good morning, Ros and all. Lovely to see you popping in on the screen. Thank you. And I'm just wondering, S-Light in the YouTube has put amazing. That's after I'd explained about the reading style that I do. Good. It's just fun. And is it me or are you in a loop? Is it just me or are you in a loop? Shouldn't be. I haven't got my normal microphone on. That might be a factor. It's just using the computer one. I don't know. I'm not sure there, Michaela. And as always, thank you, dear Roz. Thank you. Now we're on to the fish, card 34, and it's about abundance. It's just a really good flow to be in, and this is in the workspace. So card 34, the fish, the keywords is income, affluence, wealth, money, resources, financials. It is to do with its abundance. So when fish swim close to our sirens, which is yourself, it brings financial abundance and promises that business will flourish. The closer the fish falls to the siren, and this is the grunter blow, the more affluent and successful the siren will be. When far, our sirens will flounder. They won't have access to a wealth of resources during this time frame, and no matter how well planned projects and goals involving gain will remain beached, flopping futilely in shallow waters. Isn't it good we're not doing a grunter blow at the moment? Sounds awful. Depressing, isn't it? The further away. Well, it's to me that seems duh. Of course, the closer things are to you, as far as the closer you are to being involved and focused in what you're doing to earn your income, it's going to bring that productivity and result of being able to earn more. The more that you can produce, the more you can sell, the more hours that you can put to client involvement, the better. And sometimes, in the business coaching I've had over the years, group work can sometimes be more profitable than a one-on-one because, with doing this type of reading, this is a one-to-many, yes, but I'm not charging you. But you think of the possibility if you can be out and about in a group and you've got income coming that way, of course it's going to flow more in that readiness to be focused and targeted and giving what is needed, and that itself will attract. Oh well, there you go, you've got that influence, being like the multiplying factor. So as you put your focus on and on feeling that sense, start with what you like doing best first, and then work through to other areas of focus that are going to give you that wonderful pleasure of doing what you do and sharing it with others, and being able to attract other people in to share that. And, in a work situation, you're not going to put yourself out there for free all the time. And so you can understand what that multiplier effect is going to do. And being focused as a group, flowing in the direction you want to have as your focus. Whoops. So that's a wonderful message as far as the focus that we can have, the abundance we can have, and in that you can share those celebrations of achievements for each and every person, not just fish, but each and every person in that group as they achieve what they need to find their own joy and happiness and ability to produce what they love doing as well. And here we have then those. I do see the bouquet as a bit of a celebration and acknowledgement of each other as we do say thank you. And, it can be in word form or it can be verbal, it doesn't matter, but it's communication of that to each other, because the flowers themselves are going to be a level of communication of that is, celebrate self, celebrate each other as we're living in this world together. Goodness. Um, Michaela's just saying, oh, you sound normal now. I don't know what was happening there then. Could have been something on your end. Don't know, Michaela, but that's all okay. Beautiful reading. Thank you, Ros from Deb. Have the most magical, beautiful day to all. Much love and light. And thank you, Deb, for being here. And Sharon, whoops, didn't hit that properly. Turns out the water bowl was empty for your cats, Ros. Oh my goodness, because we had a little discussion about cats dipping their paws in the water, in any water. That's lovely. Thank you. So I gather shows that you have filled their water bowl. Yes, the many different things that we do need to be keeping our eyes on as we move about and around in our environments. And it does mean checking water bowls and food supplies, and how the weeds might be growing in the garden and all sorts of different areas. How we've even laid a table sometimes, and I don't know why that came in. I think probably because many of you might be thinking about coming celebrations, ready for holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I gather was yesterday, today, I don't know. I'm not an American, so I don't keep track of their holidays. I do understand, yes, there's been talk of Thanksgiving and the Black Friday sales and all that. We do tend to focus on our own self and environment, which is as it should be, but it's also with that it keeps in mind that we are, we're global. We definitely have influence, not just in our own space and place. We can have influence by just that butterfly effect as we bring what's from our inner heart and our, that loving energy that, I really do encourage that knowing of what is love and that core of why we are here and stuff. Doesn't have to be the absolute, focus of every second of our day, but it's putting it into place as much as possible of that core energy of who we are and that loving centre, because I do believe we are love. And the unconditional love is the purest of. Is it something we can attain, or it's something that we are, be, all sorts. We're here to question. We've got brains, we've got minds, we do think. And there's so much that we can move through. Too much for this morning, but take those cards as you revisit them sometimes through the day and feel through what you feel as you're looking at them. How are you feeling as you look at them? And it's not what do they make you feel, because nothing outside of you can make you feel anything. It just is that I feel something. I feel the I feel the energy of love from that bouquet card because it brings to my mind the memory of my mum always smiling as she is gifted the bouquet of flowers, roses, whatever it is that she would receive. It was just that joy. So, really feel into where you're at that particular point in time and know it's the ultimate experience of life is how we. Wow, it's getting deep, isn't it? Too early in the morning. I can't find the words. It is how we are from our centre. How are we understanding it and living our life around that? Okay, now I'll get back to where were we after the empty water bowl. Michaela's got those beautiful emojis. Thank you so much. And yes, the Chris table as far as our layout. Look, it could be that. I have no plans for my Christmas at this point in time. Um, so I haven't been thinking about Christmas tables. So Spirit's bringing that message in definitely. Okay. All the loving. My mum loved flowers too. Oh, isn't it wonderful? They are a joy. So thank you. Those beautiful emojis. I'm going to finish on that, Michaela. So thank you very much. And each and every one of you, as you move through your day to day, be in mindfulness and have those moments where you can think about that inner self and the love that you bring to the world. And keep being the best you that you can be. So until tomorrow, namaste.